All right then. Hello, my name is Patty Jacob. I live in Jeffersonville, Vermont. I still think I'm just a regular person. I'm really nobody special. Hello, we are in my office where I keep my player piano, my regular Yamaha keyboard, all of my office supplies, and over there off camera are many printers and computers and all manner of office stuff. So it's a little cluttery, but this is where I do my work. I was born in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and I was born in 1955, so the middle of the 20th century, and I'm solidly mid-century. It was just very suburban. My city was about 30,000 people, and there were 300 people in my graduating class, so 1,200 people in my high school. I had one friend in particular that we were close from kindergarten all the way through school. We did many things together. In 3rd grade for our class Christmas party, she brought her accordion and I had a little tabletop piano, and we entertained our 3rd grade class by playing Christmas carols during the party. And it seemed normal at the time, but looking back, like, who does that in 3rd grade? We formed a youth choir, and no grown-ups, just us running this choir, and we sang all over town. There were clubs everywhere, dealing with people and the process of this is dependent on that, and if there's a problem in this department, it's going to affect things down the line. It was really a great experience of learning how to deal with a lot of different kinds of people. Back in the day, it was important to take piano. I didn't think I was very good, and I really didn't like it all that much. I've never been one who enjoys sitting down to practice. And it never occurred to me to be a music teacher, probably until I was a junior or senior in high school. And we went in the summer, again, this friend and I, we went to a summer church camp, and there was a boy there from another town. He was a couple years older than us, and he played the piano for these chapel services. And I think that was a moment where I thought, well, I could do that. I can't even tell you his name or where he ended up, but just that memory of that person stayed with me. And I felt like there was a point when I was getting my degree in my music, and there was my mother and my grandmother saying, "See, I told you so." Again, here I am, many decades later as a church musician and also a school musician, and still doing it. Say when.
When?
Okay, so this is my glorious office space. Oh, so this is a 1954 Willys Jeep, and it's surrounded by my nephew's four-wheeler, so pay no attention to that. This is Mount Mansfield. It's the highest peak in Vermont, and it's kind of the reason we picked this house, because we stood in this very driveway and looked over there and said, whoa. To this side we have the things that need to be shredded, and above that a printer, and this printer talks to my phone, so that's why that one's here. Say something, Teddy. Say something to the audience. He's usually quite a talker. This is the old Army Jeeps in the style that I drove when I was a young soldier in the 80s. And you can get a nice view of the trails, the Sterling Mountain trails, and kind of behind the pine tree in the fog is Madonna 1. One of the Jacob family traits is that we have things in piles, and we know exactly what is in which pile, so no one should ever touch them or we'd be totally confused. He'll be back in 5 minutes. It runs pretty good, but you don't want to drive it too far. It's more of a cream puff kind of vehicle, drive it around the yard, to the ice cream stand on Sundays and things like that. And also in that direction is my neighbor's maple sugaring operation and sugar bush, and just about the beginning of October, it's pretty spectacular foliage-wise around here. Well, yes, my maiden name is Gerard. I don't really know the origin of it other than it's Scottish and English, and there are also French Gerards, but I know that my grandfather was very adamant that we were not French. Here comes His Majesty. He told me what he thought it meant, but I can't really mention it here on tape.
I think that says enough about it.
So this is what we in the military always call the I love me wall, which is where you make one wall with all your awards and your important stuff that you've done in your career. So what we have here is, this is called a shadow box, and in it I have my flag that I was given when I retired, and all of my military awards, medals, awards in order. And of course my 3 name tags, my maiden name of Gerard, and my first husband's name, Eisenman, and my present and second husband's name of Jacob. And these are staff of the Ethan Allen Fire Range. And if you look closely, you will see that little blonde girl in the corner. That one was me. Yeah, basic training is quite a trip. And if you just hold yourself together, you can get through it, and it's really quite an experience. Here, these are some outtakes, kind of cutouts from the book that I put together. It was a yearbook of Operation Desert Storm, and I kind of put this together as a memoir. And this big engineer company here gave me this signed picture of them to thank me for doing it for them. This is one of the famous expressions that blurted out of my mouth for no reason. My coworkers thought it was the most hilarious thing, and they had that plaque made for me. My dear friends in the Army Band made this lovely quote, little reminder of some of the people that I served with and some of the cool things that we did. End of discussion. I came in the fall of 1979. While I was working in manufacturing, because I didn't get a job right out of college, another woman in my factory had gone to tractor trailer school. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting and fun, and left my job and went to tractor trailer school for a couple months. And I answered an ad for the Lamoille South Supervisory Union in Morrisville, Vermont, to be the band teacher grades 4 through 12 at Morristown Elementary and People's Academy. So I sent in my resume, found my way to Lamoille County, and drove up here. Before GPS, I actually had to use a map. And honestly, I looked like a 12-year-old then. Like, I was that teacher that was mistaken for a student in the halls. Got my Class 1 driver's license on a tractor-trailer truck down in Massachusetts. So that was on my resume. I honestly still to this day think it made the difference in why did they pick me. And I really think the principal felt, well, there must be something more to this young woman than meets the eye if she's done that. Now, when I came to People's Academy, the kids coming to me and saying, we have no one to direct our musical, would you please direct a musical for us? I was told that Bye Bye Birdie was an easy one to do for a first musical. You know, little did I know. That was my first show that I directed. Again, the students came to me and said, hey, there's a theater over in Hyde Park. We're going to be doing The Music Man this summer. Why don't you come over and audition with us? So I went over and I auditioned for The Music Man, and I know I sang absolutely terribly, but I was cast anyway, maybe because they knew I was the band teacher. I signed my name on the wall, and also when I was teaching at People's Academy, my first summer, I was at basic training. Military in the summer, you just don't have time. But I did end up on the board of Lamoille County Players, so I served on the board and helped out here and there. Like in the fall, I could do props for a play, but summer was almost out of the question for me. I took over The Sound of Music that we had been putting on for many, many years every fall. I've directed the entire production 7 different times, conducted over 100 performances of it. Eventually, certainly more after I retired in 2008, I began to direct summer musicals because I had directed big musicals. I was used to it. I'm good with large mobs of people. And, sometimes it comes down to nobody else wants to do it. So that has been my open door for so many things in my life, is no one else would do it. So I just did. It's really just an honor to have ended up where I do, to still be playing music. You're just carrying that gift of music forward.